Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. We're in the Hampden yard today, bright and early, because it's going to be very warm today. And in this heat in the 90s today, or in the 30s centigrade, it's going to be too hot to be working the bees soon. Also, the advantage is we've got the sun is behind the tree right now, so a lot of the yard is in the shade. If we can, we're going to be taking some honey off some of these hives. And probably start with the biggest one, so we'll start to smoke that biggest one, and we will go around and see if there's any more honey that we can take off. Of course, these hives I allowed to go into double deeps, so as opposed to, and I've only just converted them to double deeps after I took honey off a few weeks ago. So there may not be as much honey as it looks out here, but we're going to have a go anyway and see what we can find. So we're also going to make sure that we super up where we need to, because now that we're getting into honey flow, we want to make sure that the colonies are not restricted by the amount of space they have. So I'll put a bit more smoke in there, please, and then a little bit from the top as we move along. This colony has been great. This was our breeder colony. It's the one that we have utilized eggs from time and again. I've already harvested 2 deep supers of honey from this colony, and possibly a medium, but at least 2 deeps, which was roughly 100 pounds of honey, 120 pounds of honey possibly, or no, more like 100. So we knew that this super was relatively empty about 2.5 weeks ago, but the other supers were filling up. So let's see what we've got. Oh, there's some weight in here. We've got a good 15 to 20 pounds of honey in that box. This is a comb honey box, which is mostly built. I want it to be entirely built. There's 15 to 20 pounds of honey in here, but comb honey boxes need to be capped, and I can see that they're not capped. So this one's staying put. This is also some comb honey in here. I'm going to see just how well capped it is. Problem with producing comb honey during the goldenrod flow is all your combs end up yellow. We've got some pretty good cappings here. This is nearly ready to take off, but I think it's best to leave it in a bit longer. We've got a lot of partly filled supers here. And finally, this is one that we put on because we took those deeps off, and this was put on at the this was relatively empty. So what we have is 4 half or more filled supers. Again, about 20 pounds of honey in here. So I don't think we need to go into the brood chamber. So we've got 4 supers here, which are probably also actually about ready to be, so very close to being ready to be harvested. But what I should actually do is use the hydrometer, the refractometer. You know where that is in the kitchen there? Do you want to bring it? We'll have a quick look and see what the honey looks like. See how ready they are to remove the honey. That's what we have here. When you have lots of supers which are partially capped and you've had them for a little while, what you end up with is a lot of cured honey that they haven't yet capped. And so if the honey is already cured, just because it's not capped, doesn't mean you can't harvest it. If it's already down to the right sugar content or the right water content, then you can harvest it. So we'll have a look at that when Jordan brings out the refractometer. Try and get an average here. Okay. Want to just hold that frame there, please, Jordan? So we'll take some honey from here. Put it on the refractometer. I always hold it the wrong way up. Wow. Yeah, this is 16.9. 16.8, 16.9. This honey is most certainly cured, so this honey could come off. Even though not a bit of it is capped, it's definitely ready to be used, taken off. So we can take this one off, and I'd be very confident that the other top one could come off too. But what we're going to do is put the 2 comb honey supers back on. So if you want to get the fume boards over here, a fume board and the box with the stuff in it. So we're going to take this super off. We will put the comb honey supers back on, because unlike the honey that you're going to extract, comb honey needs to have the honey capped to be able to sell it. So we're putting the comb honey supers back on so they can be capped. And right now what I'm going to do is just put the honey supers on that we're going to take off to drive the bees out. Just to be on the safe side, what we'll do is we'll check the honey, what the honey is like in this one. Nothing drips out. Come on, bee. Nope, can't have it back yet. Can have it back later. Right, and this honey is 18.5, 18.8. So this honey is just ready. But if I'm mixing the two together, we should be good. So let's, because the other one is a bit dry. So we'll take this one off, and we want to put that other super on. That one there. And we will get the fume board ready to go. Now, the sun's not on the hive yet to make the fume board work really well, but it's certainly warm enough for it to work well. So this will drive those bees down. In the meantime, we will check another colony. Why don't we check the colony the camera is on right now? That's the next tallest one. Try and do it without the sun on it. It really is a beautiful, where's my hive tool? There it is. It really is a beautiful morning. If it wasn't quite so hot, if it was a little drier, it'd be quite nice in the bee yard, wouldn't it? How are you? Yeah, I've got a nice ventilated suit. Are you okay?
Definitely sweating a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna have to. We're gonna not be out here as long as we would normally be, because this is not ideal conditions. But I'm actually really glad of this ventilated suit. There's hardly a breath of air, but there's enough movement of air that I feel reasonably comfortable. They're a little off-putting because they're very heavy to wear, at least when you're putting it on, but once you've got it on, it doesn't seem to be bad at all. I may stock these in my store now. Okay, there's about 10 pounds to 15 pounds of honey there. I think what we did on this hive, we probably just had colonies that we stripped down to make nukes, and these are all the partially filled honey supers put on a hive to give the bees somewhere to protect them from wax moths. So what we have here is a lot of partially filled supers. So I'll bet if we are clever about it, what we could do is consolidate these, put the honey in one or two. This one looks pretty full, and then we could take the honey off. Yeah, this is pretty full. So we will be taking the honey off this, but why don't we do, Jordan, here, if you can work these, we'll take off any frames that have a fair amount of honey. You can see the ones that are full of bees, like this one, and this one, we'll put in here, and I'll just swap them. So if you can get them out, and just swap them for ones that have empty combs on the edges here. So this has next to nothing in it. Oh, this is not much better. Let's try that middle one. There's some honey in there. So we'll put that in there, and I'll take this one and put it in here. And what's the other one like here? This one's nearly empty. Sorry? That's pretty dry too. Yeah, okay, so this super, we're done. There's next to nothing in it, so if you put that to one side, or put it up so we can use it as a table, and put these two on the table, or one of them on the table. That's good. And take the most full combs out of there. Should probably be only 2 or 3 of them. So we'll get a super off this hive. Yeah, slightly heavier than this one. Okay, there's this one, and we're taking this off. And let's take the other super. Where's the other one that we haven't done yet? This one here, isn't it? We lift. Any frames in here that are worth taking out? If not, don't worry about it. If we've just got the one, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. But actually, what we'll do is we're going to leave these 2 on and take these 3 on, and just take the top one off now. We've got that one is reasonably full. So let's put these back on top. Now that we've swapped round, we've made sure this super is pretty full, and then we'll put our fume board on top of that one. So the bees are working on all 3 of these supers, but they didn't need to be working on 4. But we're going to get the bees out of this one. Ooh. There's a good 30 pounds of honey in there now. We'll make it worthwhile. I grab the top off that. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so shortly this hive will be ready to take that super off. We can have a quick look around the top of these hives now. We know we're good. We're just looking at the bigger colonies, so we have a quick look around the yard now. So may as well mount the camera up here, and they can just watch us. And we'll put this microphone to the test, so see if it can hear me all the way around the yard now. Okay, so we'll have a quick look and see if we're going to do anything with any of these. Thank you. This is a single brood chamber. There's 25 pounds of honey in there. What have we got in here? Smoke on here, please. You can see that there. No, there's some capacity in here yet. So we can take the honey off this one. Okay. That's pretty full of bees. And this looks like this wants to come off too. Is this got a double brood chamber or is there a queen excluder between the two? Something tells me there's a queen excluder there. There is a queen excluder. Okay, we're going to get the other fume board because we're going to take this super off too. This is full. And this super is filling with honey. But there's still room in it. Okay, what we'll do is let's put another super on top of this one. Yep, that's all. Yep. Put that right on. So that's 4 fume boards we've got going right now. We'll see how close we are for our next one. How close are we here? Pretty full. If they look full, we want room as well, because now with the honey flow coming, things are going to start happening fast. So we have to anticipate, at least in this yard, things will be happening faster than in other yards because we know the flow is underway here. That's pretty full. That looks pretty darn full too. But it's less full than it could be. So we may put another super on here to give it room, but we're going to double check this one with the honey first. Let's thank you. Let's see how well cured this is. With a honey flow on, they could be filling it with nectar. There's no liquid there. That's good. Hold on to that. Refractometer's down the bottom of my pocket. Hard to get hold of. No, that's not ready. That's only 21. So we'll put it back on top. So That's got too far to go. Way too far to go. Okay, so let's throw another deep on top of it though. So we'll not take that super off. Okay, this can go to the truck. I'm not quite out of this one yet. Still a lot of room in this super. Still plenty of weight in it though. 20-ish pounds. There's a lot of room here, so we can leave these on. These don't need room. You got that honey super off, right? In the truck, great, thank you. We'll put rocks on these, you can follow with rocks. We've checked that. This we just established. See how this one's looking. Ooh, empty, no problem. Plenty of room. Now, we checked these a couple of days ago, and there's a fair amount of honey in some of these. We added this super the last week. Look how full of bees it is. That's great. So we only added that super, what, 3 or 4 days ago? I think it's what it was. It's about 5 to 8 pounds of honey in there. This is nearly empty. Well, no, this has got 10 to 15 pounds of honey in. This one might be able to come off. Let's see what the honey's like on this one. Should have brought a rag out with me and get it on my suit.
New suit.
Sorry?
Your new fancy suit.
Yeah. And also it's not an absorbent suit anyway, so I couldn't exactly wipe things off on it. Okay, you want to put that back in? Yeah, still about 18 and a half, so that's not coming off. I think if we look next week, it'll be a very different story. Considering these nukes, these double nukes were only started about 7 weeks ago, and they weren't quite ready for sale yet either. So they were sort of a week before being ready for sale. So really, So there's still a foundation in both of these at the time, but they've got the best part of 50 pounds of honey on here, 60 pounds to take off, but not quite yet. Let's see what's going on here. I think we stored a lot of equipment on here, but I don't see a lot of bees there. It's interesting. I think this was somewhere we were putting supers because we had a lot of supers that we just split off hives. So this one is near empty. Yeah, like I said, that's what we did. We put a number of supers on this hive in order just as a holding place to keep them away from moths and things. But we've got a lot of honey here, and this is a deep. Do we have a queen excluder on anywhere here? Oh boy, that's full. Oh, here's the queen excluder right here. Okay, so just for now we'll take it off to help the bees out. Actually, what we'll do is we'll leave it on, put those supers back on, and we're going to take this super off. Okay, you want to straighten out the queen excluder when I lift? So 2 supers is more than enough room here now. We have an escape board. We can probably take off, well, probably where the camera is, but we'll go and do that in a second. Help me guide it. Okay, let's see if we can take this one off now. There's a few bees in these seams before. Yeah, that's ready. Okay, you can put that escape board on that hive we just did, Jordan. This can go to the truck. The beauty of the fume board on a warm day is by the time you've got round to the next hive, if you're running with 3, 4, 5 fume boards, you can come away, and by the time you're ready for one fume board, the other hive has already got the bees out of it and it's ready to go. So let's put another deep on the top of that colony just to give them some room. That's got its fume board on, and let's check the colony next to it. Plenty of room. And I'm 99% sure, having checked these 2 or 3 days ago, it was very much the same as that one, so we'll not even bother opening that. This one has only just had supers added to it, so I think that's it for this yard, except now we can start taking the honey off as we move along. All the other larger colonies have been checked. So this is the next one. We should be able to take this super off. We'll move this over here. Few bees. Okay, you can put the covers on that, please. Nothing on this one. This was probably the next one. Okay, we can put a shallower super on that one, I'd say. The other thing, if you are harvesting honey that you have any question as to whether they are a bit too wet or not, in other words, if you're getting readings of 18.5 or above, you can do what I've got in the honey kitchen, and that is putting a dehumidifier in a room with a fan, and within a couple of days you'll have that level of water content right down. That can be closed up. Okay, we'll take the fume boards over here and we'll check the other yard. I don't think there's many over there, but there might be one or two. Just to keep some of the robbers off it. Make it a little less obvious. Okay, I've seen the inside of this hive, so we don't need to do this one yet. This has I've just added that honey super, so I don't think we need to do anything there. But this one might have something worth taking off. So do you want to hold the camera? Because we've got nowhere to sort of stand it for the moment. Have a quick look. Did we bring the smoker? We did not. Okay, you want to grab the smoker? Sure. And I'll set this up over here. See how that goes. Yeah. Just about right. Pack in, let's say. Oh yes, I remember. I put the hive beetle trap in here. Let's see. I put the hive beetle trap in this hive the other day just to see if we got any small hive beetles, because the colony that the camera is on is one that had them before. Hey, I've got one. It's trying to get out. It's not in the oil. Okay, there's a small hive beetle. Okay, I'm going to show the camera. There are not many small hive beetles, and as somebody actually pointed out very sensibly, I'm using a lot of black plastic comb, and small hive beetles just love to hide in the edges of those. But here's a small hive beetle. It's not actually been killed yet. Actually, Jordan, can you hold the camera? Because I want to make sure it's actually pointing at it because it's so specific. Okay, at the top here, there's a small hive beetle. Now, it's not in the oil yet. It hasn't fallen into it yet, but Wonder if I can just knock it in. I'll get some oil on it. What the heck. Anyway, it's now got oil on it. Normally what you'd see, if there's any significant number, they'd be just sunk in the oil here. But we've got a small hive beetle there, hiding from the bees. As I said, in this area, if you just bring the camera along, Jordan, in this area we've got very few small hive beetles, but I had seen some in my previous colony. So we've actually captured one and killed it. Let's see if we've got honey down below here. Oh, a bit of honey on that side. Can you pass me this smoker, please? Thank you. Oh, a fair amount of honey here, so we'll take this off. Where can I put it? I'll take that off, put this on. And once we've done it, we'll put another deep on here. I should be having the young folks do this. Right, Jordan?
Something like that.
Thank you. Okay, we'll come back to that one. That's good, and we'll put another super on once we've taken it off. Let's see where we are. Actually, this wants another super on, I think, from my recollection. It looked pretty close to being ready for another super. Yeah, it's definitely ready for another super. So I'll take that off your hands, and if you want to get another super for that colony, and bring another one for this one as well, please. See how close this one is to being ready. Not close at all. Fairly new deep super foundation up there. So no rush there. However, when the camera is on, may be another matter. I think we also split hives over here, and this one was used as a receiving bay for supers as well. Nothing there. About 30 pounds in that, but it's not ready to take off. Yeah, we've got plenty of room here yet. In fact, I'm going to consolidate things a bit. So those are the hives we're going to take honey off. I've got a spare super here. Did you bring both? Yeah, you did. There's a few bees in here. Okay, we'll close that up. Whew. Okay, we are done in this yard. So if you bring any of the equipment out, we're done in here. So this is the last super over here, isn't it? There's a few bees which I can shake out, I think, rather than leaving the chemicals on for longer than necessary in this heat. I'll take this off and shake a few bees out. And in the meantime, put this back on. Move the beetle trap to the top. Sick of this. Okay, so we'll take that off and we'll be done with that. So if you want to take the rest of the equipment, Jordan, load up the truck and we'll take it away and get in the cool. So there we have it. We've removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 supers of honey, 2 of them deeps. So that'll keep us busy doing a little bit of extracting, not today, but maybe over early next week when we've had it in the hot room for a day or two. The honey flow is much better here than in Winterport, hence I was able to take some honey off, and it's good to see. And I would say that in the coming weeks we're going to have to keep a close eye on our hives, because they should, if the weather continues and the luck continues, they should start filling up nicely. The colonies that used up a lot of honey during the dearth are backfilling now. They're refilling the spaces that they used up. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Jordan's taking some of the heavy lifting right now. Good for you. Okay, so that's it for the day. Off to the inside and get cool. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.